What if I told you that your seemingly healthy morning yogurt or that whole grain toast could actually be the secret culprit behind your constant fatigue, brain fog, and nagging aches and pains? Sounds paradoxical, right? We're used to categorizing food as simply good or bad, but the truth is far more complex. Today, we're diving into a hidden enemy that might be lurking in even the most innocent-looking plate. Its name is chronic inflammation, and I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to visually, step by step, build the perfect anti-inflammatory plate right here for you. You'll see how food transforms from a potential foe into your most powerful ally in the battle for energy and vibrant health. Do you already have a guess as to which food will be the hero of our plate? Drop your predictions in the comments right now. Before we start building our plate, let's quickly clarify exactly what chronic inflammation is. Don't confuse it with acute inflammation, the kind you get when you cut your finger and it gets red and swollen. That's a normal, healthy immune response, your body's way of protecting itself and starting the healing process. We are talking about the silent, low-grade, constant inflammation that persists for months or even years. Imagine a smoke alarm that never shuts off. It's not screaming at the top of its lungs, but it's constantly beeping. That persistent drone exhausts the entire system. Chronic inflammation works the same way, wearing down our body from the inside out. It's at the root of most modern diseases. Everything from cardiovascular issues and type 2 diabetes to autoimmune disorders and even depression. The main catalyst for this whole process is our diet. But here's the great news. Food can also be the chief medicine. Let's turn our kitchen into a pharmacy. So let's start building our anti-inflammatory fortress. And the foundation for it must be greens. Lots and lots of greens. Picture this. Half your plate is a canvas, and we are painting it with every shade of green imaginable. Think spinach, kale, arugula, Swiss chard, and all your favorite leaf lettuces. Why these specific foods? They're not just filler to add volume. Dark leafy greens are a powerhouse of magnesium, and a deficiency in this mineral is directly linked to an increase in inflammatory markers throughout the body. On top of that, they are loaded with polyphenols and potent antioxidants, like lutein and zeaxanthin. These compounds act like little firefighters, aggressively putting out inflammation at the cellular level. And, of course, there is the fiber. Fiber feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, and a thriving, healthy microbiome is your absolute first line of defense against systemic inflammation. Don't be afraid to get creative. Toss them into your smoothies, enjoy them as massive salads, or simply wilt them slightly in a pan with some garlic. The key rule here is that you can never have too much green. Visually, this should be the single largest element on your plate. Now that our green foundation is established, it's time to splash in some color. The next step is a vibrant parade of vegetables. Forget boring monochromatic side dishes. Your goal is simple. Eat the rainbow. Think bright red bell peppers, deep orange carrots, purple cabbage, sunny yellow squash, and of course, the king of anti-inflammatory veggies, broccoli. Each color represents a unique array of essential phytonutrients and antioxidants. Red and orange bring carotenoids like lycopene and beta-carotene. Purple foods are rich in anthocyanins, some of the most potent antioxidants available. And that vibrant green color, especially in broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables, conceals sulforaphane, a powerful compound that actively triggers your body's natural detoxification and anti-inflammatory pathways. Aim to fill another quarter of your plate with these colorful vegetables right next to your greens. You can eat them raw, steam them lightly, or roast them until tender. The more diverse the palette on your plate, the wider the spectrum of anti-inflammatory weapons you provide your body with. Let's move on to the protein component. Our main ally here is cold water fish. Salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring. What do they all have in common? An incredibly high concentration of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These acids are true superheroes in the fight against inflammation. They integrate into our cell membranes and produce specific molecules, resolvins and protectins. As their names suggest, these compounds actively resolve and shut down inflammatory reactions. Contrast this with omega-6 fatty acids, which we get from vegetable oils and processed foods. An excess of omega-6s actually pours fuel on the fire of inflammation. Omega-3s, however, work like a fire extinguisher. Try to incorporate fatty fish into your diet at least 2 or 3 times a week. A piece of baked salmon about the size of a deck of cards is the perfect serving size for your plate. If you genuinely dislike fish, high-quality omega-3 supplements can certainly serve as an alternative. However, consuming the whole food source is always the better choice. But what if fish isn't on your menu, or you're just looking to mix things up? That's where plant-based protein steps into the spotlight, and legumes are leading the charge. Think lentils, chickpeas, beans, and mung beans. For too long, they were unfairly demonized because of lectins and phytic acid. However, when properly prepared, by soaking and thorough cooking, they transform into a genuine superfood. First off, they are an excellent source of protein, essential for tissue repair and regeneration. Second, they deliver powerful fiber, both soluble and insoluble. This fiber doesn't just feed your gut microbiome. It also helps regulate blood sugar, preventing the sudden spikes in glucose and insulin that are major triggers for inflammation. Try adding a couple of spoonfuls of hummus to your plate, throwing a handful of cooked lentils into your salad, or serving beans as a hearty side dish. It's a filling, affordable, and incredibly effective way to make your plate significantly more anti-inflammatory. They easily earn their spot in the protein quadrant of your plate, perhaps even pushing animal protein to the side. Fats are not the enemy. It's time we finally bust this outdated myth from the 90s. Healthy fats are absolutely essential for our well-being, and one of the champions in this category is the avocado. This creamy, rich fruit, and yes, technically it is a fruit, is packed with monounsaturated fats, specifically oleic acid. That's the exact same healthy fat found in olive oil. These fats help lower levels of bad cholesterol and reduce inflammatory markers, such as C-reactive protein. But that's not all it offers. Avocados are also a fantastic source of potassium, which is key for controlling blood pressure, and powerful antioxidants like carotenoids. Thanks to their high fat and fiber content, avocados are incredibly satiating, helping you manage your appetite and avoid reaching for harmful, pro-inflammatory snacks. Try adding a quarter or a half of a sliced avocado directly to your plate. It will not only boost the nutritional value, but also add a wonderful, creamy texture to your meal. Continuing our discussion on healthy fats, we absolutely must mention the tiny but mighty warriors, nuts and seeds. A handful of walnuts, almonds, chia, flax, or pumpkin seeds is a concentrated powerhouse of nutrition. Walnuts, for example, are one of the very best plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA. Almonds are rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects our cells from free radical damage. Chia and flax seeds are champions when it comes to fiber and omega-3 content. They also have the unique ability to form a gel in the digestive tract. This helps slow down sugar absorption and aids in gentle detoxification. It's important to keep moderation in mind, though. Nuts are calorie-dense, so a small handful, roughly 1 ounce or 30 grams per day, is plenty. Sprinkle them over a salad, mix them into your morning oatmeal, or just grab them as a quick snack. It's an easy way to add crunch, flavor, and serious anti-inflammatory power to your diet. Let's shift our focus to spices, because they are much more than just flavor enhancers. They are miniature pharmaceutical factories, and the queen among them is turmeric. Its vibrant yellow color comes from a potent compound called curcumin. Curcumin is known to be one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory agents in science today. Its mechanism of action is incredibly complex. It impacts numerous molecular targets, specifically by blocking a key protein that initiates the inflammatory cascade within our cells. Studies suggest that curcumin's efficacy is comparable to some prescription anti-inflammatory drugs, but without the harmful side effects. Here's a little secret for better absorption. You must consume curcumin along with black pepper. The piperine found in pepper dramatically increases the bioavailability of curcumin by thousands of %. Add a pinch of turmeric to your curries, soups, smoothies, or make a soothing cup of golden milk. It's an easy and delicious way to give your body a daily dose of powerful anti-inflammatory protection. Let's talk about the second essential item on our spice shelf, ginger, a close relative of turmeric. Its sharp, pungent aroma and flavor come from gingerols. These are active compounds packed with powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. For centuries, ginger has been a staple in traditional medicine, used to treat everything from nausea and common colds to various aches and pains. Modern science now backs this up, showing that gingerols can suppress the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines and enzymes. It is particularly effective for managing joint pain associated with osteoarthritis, as well as soothing muscle soreness after a workout. The best way to reap these benefits is to consume ginger in its fresh form. Grate a small knob of the root into your salad dressing. Stir it into hot water with lemon and honey for a warming, soothing tea, or simply use it when preparing your favorite Asian cuisine. Ginger doesn't just fight inflammation. It also works wonders for digestive health, a critical component in maintaining overall wellness. But what about dessert? Does an anti-inflammatory diet mean we have to give up sweets entirely? Absolutely not. You just need to choose them wisely. And that's where berries come to the rescue. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. These little natural gems are absolutely packed with antioxidants, particularly anthocyanins. These are the very pigments that give them their rich red, blue, and purple colors. Anthocyanins don't just fight off free radicals. They have a direct anti-inflammatory effect by lowering the production of inflammatory molecules in the body. What's more, unlike many other fruits, berries have a low glycemic index, meaning they won't cause sharp spikes in your blood sugar levels. A small handful of fresh or even frozen berries, which retain almost all of their beneficial properties, makes an ideal way to finish a meal or serves as a healthy snack. Add them to your oatmeal, mix them into yogurt, or just enjoy them on their own. This is the kind of sweetness that works for you, not against you. Now let's dive into the most controversial topic of all: carbohydrates. Many popular diets tell you to cut them out completely, but that's a huge mistake. The real factor here isn't the quantity, it's the quality. Refined carbohydrates truly are the enemy, but whole grains are definitely our friends. I'm talking about quinoa, brown and wild rice, slow-cooked oatmeal, and buckwheat. What sets them apart? They haven't been stripped or heavily processed. They retain their protective outer layer, the bran, which is absolutely packed with fiber, B vitamins, and essential minerals. This fiber slows down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, guaranteeing a smooth, steady release of energy without those sharp insulin spikes. Maintaining stable blood sugar is the key to keeping inflammation levels low. Furthermore, whole grains contain powerful antioxidants that you won't always find in your usual fruits and vegetables. A small serving, roughly the size of your fist, is how much whole grain should occupy your plate. They will provide lasting energy, keep you feeling full, and fundamentally help you control inflammatory processes throughout your body. The health of our entire body starts in the gut. This idea is gaining traction, and rightly so. The state of our microbiome directly influences our immune function and the degree of systemic inflammation. One of the best ways to support this crucial army of beneficial bacteria is by consuming fermented foods. Foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, natural yogurt, and kombucha are all fantastic sources of live probiotics. These microorganisms help reinforce the intestinal walls, preventing the so-called leaky gut syndrome. Leaky gut occurs when undigested food particles and toxins leak into the bloodstream and trigger an immune response. Probiotics also produce beneficial short-chain fatty acids, such as butyrate, which deliver a potent, localized anti-inflammatory action right where it's needed in the intestines. To reap the daily benefits, just add 1 or 2 tablespoons of sauerkraut or kimchi as a flavorful side to your main dish. Always select products that use natural fermentation, ensuring they are free of added vinegar and refined sugar. So what should we be drinking? Ditch the sugary sodas and those box juices immediately. Seriously, that's just liquid sugar, and it instantly fuels inflammation. Our choice? Green tea. For centuries, Asian cultures have revered this drink, not just for its subtle taste, but for its powerful medicinal properties. The key active ingredient in green tea is epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG for short. This is one of the most potent antioxidants in the catechin family. EGCG protects your cells from damage, and most importantly for our purposes, it has a pronounced anti-inflammatory effect. EGCG is actually able to inhibit the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines and nitric oxide. Regular consumption of green tea has been linked to a reduced risk of many chronic diseases. Make sure you brew high-quality, loose-leaf tea, not those dusty tea bags, and aim for 1 to 2 cups daily. It's a simple, enjoyable ritual that offers tremendous benefits for your body. Now place that cup of fragrant green tea right next to the plate we've almost finished preparing. How should we dress all this goodness on the plate? Mayonnaise and bottled sauces made with cheap vegetable oils immediately need to be cut from the menu. They're packed with sugar, preservatives, and inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. Our top choice is cold-pressed olive oil, the famous extra virgin variety. This isn't just a fat, it's a true health elixir. Its benefits come not only from monounsaturated fats, but also from a unique compound called oleocanthal. Amazingly, this substance shares the same anti-inflammatory mechanism as ibuprofen, but without the harsh side effects on your stomach. Oleocanthal is responsible for that slight peppery catch in the back of your throat that you feel when tasting a high-quality, fresh oil. That's why you shouldn't skimp on your olive oil. Use it generously for salad dressings and drizzle it over cooked vegetables and fish. Remember, avoid heating it to high temperatures, as this can destroy the valuable polyphenols. 1 to 2 tablespoons per serving is the perfect amount. We've spent a lot of time discussing what you should add to your plate. Now let's turn our attention to what you absolutely need to take off. And the number one culprit, the enemy we need to focus on, is added sugar. I'm not talking about the natural sugars found in fruits. I'm talking about refined white sugar, syrups, and all their sneaky derivatives that manufacturers liberally sneak into sauces, beverages, baked goods, yogurts, and yes, even processed meats. Once sugar enters the body, it triggers a massive spike in insulin. Persistently high levels of both insulin and glucose in the bloodstream lead to the formation of advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These harmful molecules damage critical proteins, including collagen, and provoke a powerful inflammatory response throughout the system. Sugar is quite literally the fuel that feeds inflammation. Start reading those labels, and you will be absolutely shocked by all the places where sugar is hiding. Cutting back on sugar intake is arguably the single most important and effective action you can take to fight chronic inflammation. Imagine just sweeping every sugar bowl and packet of refined sugar right off your plate. The next thing we need to ruthlessly eliminate from our plates is trans fat. These are artificially created fats produced through the process of hydrogenating vegetable oils. The food industry loves them because they are cheap and significantly extend a product's shelf life. You'll find them lurking in margarine, spreads, baked goods, fast food, processed meals, and virtually anything that's been deep fried. For our bodies, trans fats are absolute poison. Not only do they raise bad LDL cholesterol and lower the good HDL cholesterol, but they also trigger systemic inflammation, damaging the inner lining of our blood vessels and disrupting cellular function. Even small amounts inflict significant harm. In many countries, their use is already banned or strictly limited. The best way to avoid them is to cook at home using whole foods and meticulously check ingredient labels, specifically looking for the terms hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oil. We must ruthlessly eliminate anything containing them from our diet. And the final enemy we need to banish is refined carbohydrates. That means white bread, refined rolls, pasta made from highly processed flour, white rice, all kinds of baked goods, and sweets. The refining process strips these foods of their most valuable components, fiber, and essential nutrients. What's left behind is pure starch, which behaves almost exactly like regular sugar inside your body. It causes the same sharp spike in blood glucose and insulin, triggering an inflammatory cascade. Essentially, Your body doesn't see much difference between a slice of white bread and a spoonful of sugar. What's more, many of these products contain gluten, which can act as an additional inflammatory trigger for sensitive individuals. Instead, swap white bread for whole grain options, replace white pasta with whole grain or legume-based pasta, and choose fruits and berries instead of traditional desserts. This simple switch will be a huge investment in your health and will help you put out that internal fire. Let's turn our attention now to some truly beneficial additions. I want to talk about ingredients that often fly under the radar but are true heroes on the anti-inflammatory front. I'm talking about mushrooms, and not just your standard button mushrooms, though they have their benefits, but the medicinal varieties like shiitake, maitake, and reishi. In traditional Asian medicine, these have been used for millennia to powerfully boost the immune system. Their secret lies in unique polysaccharides, chief among them being beta-glucans. These compounds don't just fight inflammation, they act as powerful immunomodulators. What this means is that they essentially train our immune system, making it more balanced. Your immune response becomes sharper, more aggressive against true threats like viruses and bacteria, yet less reactive to false alarms. This reduced reactivity is crucial, as it's the basis for many autoimmune conditions and chronic inflammatory diseases. Try incorporating sautéed shiitake into your salads, soups, or as a hearty side dish. While you can certainly use medicinal mushroom extracts in supplement form, the whole food always provides a broader, more complex spectrum of beneficial nutrients. Mushrooms also lend a deep, rich umami flavor to any meal, making your food not just healthier, but truly delicious. Two more incredibly powerful, yet humble ingredients that are staples in every kitchen are onions and garlic. They belong to the allium family and are packed with organosulfur compounds, which are responsible for their characteristic pungent smell. In garlic, we find allicin, which is formed when the clove is crushed or chopped. In onions, the key beneficial compound is quercetin. Quercetin is a flavonoid known for its powerful antioxidant and antihistamine properties. It helps stabilize the mast cells that release histamine, thereby reducing both allergic and inflammatory responses. Allicin in garlic is famous for its potent antibacterial and antiviral qualities, but it also works to block the activity of certain inflammatory enzymes. To maximize these benefits, you must crush or mince garlic and let it rest, or breathe for 10 to 15 minutes before cooking or applying heat. Onions and garlic are the foundation of global cuisine, and with good reason. Use them generously as the aromatic base for soups, sauces, and stews. It's the simplest, most affordable way to effortlessly boost the anti-inflammatory power of your meals. We've been focusing so much on food, we almost forgot about the single most crucial component of a healthy diet: water. Simple, pure water. Even mild dehydration stresses the body and can elevate inflammatory markers. Water is essential for all metabolic processes, helping the kidneys flush out toxins and maintaining healthy joints. It helps fiber do its job in the gut, preventing constipation and supporting a healthy microbiome. So, how much should you actually be drinking? Forget that universal 8 glasses a day rule. Your needs are personal, depending heavily on your weight, activity level, and climate. The best guide is the color of your urine. It should be a light, straw yellow. Keep a water bottle handy and sip throughout the day. Don't wait until you feel thirsty, because thirst is already a sign that dehydration has begun. Feel free to add a slice of lemon, cucumber, or a sprig of mint for extra flavor. Right next to that perfect plate of food, always make sure you have a big glass of pure water. The final, 20th, and perhaps most crucial component of our anti-inflammatory strategy is the principle of moderation and variety. There's no need to fall into extremes, turning food into either an enemy or a cult. The goal isn't a perfect, restrictive diet, but rather creating a sustainable, healthy eating pattern that you can maintain for life. A single slice of cake at a birthday party won't undo weeks of healthy eating. What truly matters is the overall trend. Your plate shouldn't look the same every day. Rotate your protein sources, try out new vegetables, and experiment with spices. The more diverse your diet is, the greater the variety of phytonutrients, vitamins, and minerals your body receives. Don't fixate on finding one single superfood that promises to solve all your health issues. The true power lies in synergy, in how all these beneficial components work together, supporting and amplifying one another. Your ultimate goal is to create an anti-inflammatory pattern of eating. And now, by looking at the plate we've assembled, we can see exactly what that looks like in practice. So let's take a final look at the result. Here it is, our perfect anti-inflammatory plate. Half of it is filled with bright, colorful vegetables and greens. 1/4 is dedicated to high-quality protein, whether that's fatty fish or legumes. And the final 1/4 is made up of wholesome, whole grains. All of this is rounded out with healthy fats from avocados, nuts, and olive oil, and seasoned generously with powerhouse spices like turmeric and ginger. But do you know the main secret? The real game changer? The most powerful anti-inflammatory tool isn't a single, isolated food. It's not goji berries, chia seeds, or turmeric on their own. The strongest medicine is synergy. It's the way all of these components work together on one plate, amplifying each other's effects. You're not just eating a random collection of foods. You are creating an entire biochemical system that actively works for your health. This isn't a diet, it's a lifestyle. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. I truly hope it was not just interesting, but genuinely useful for you. If you found value here, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes. And now, a question for you. Which component of this anti-inflammatory plate will you add to your diet starting today? Let me know your answer in the comments below. I'm really excited to read your responses.